Well, we'll be joining Malpe and our guests in our Abuja studios.
Well, thank you, Nyota. We have with us Barrister Auta Maisamari, who is a member of the Southern Kaduna People's Union. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much.
So, do you feel reassured now that the president has spoken up on the matter and all the measures that have been taken to ensure that security returns to Southern Kaduna?
Indeed, we feel that the government should have done this much earlier. But belated as it is, we still feel that it is a good move, a good step in the right direction. Because as I speak today, there is a concentration of these armed or these killers in our bushes, in the farmlands. In fact, there is a kind of Sambisa of some sorts in southern Kaduna as I speak today and this morning.
Well, how do you know that? Do you have intelligence on that?
I'm a citizen. I am from Goska. I am from Goska. As I tell you today, my people cannot go to their farms to harvest their crops. Some have been set ablaze. And the little that is remaining, just about 2 days ago, just 48 hours ago, one Mr. Marcos was killed on his farm, shot dead. Just 48 hours ago, his corpse is still lying there.
Mr. Maisamari, you know, what I'm trying to say is you say that there are people lurking in the bushes. I mean, you say it as a matter of fact.
Yes, I say it factually.
Do we have this intelligence? You have been able to confirm this intelligence? Or are you saying that you suspect?
No.
You know, a suspicion is different from a fact.
It's not the issue of suspicion. If the security forces that have been deployed to that place want, as I'm talking now, our boys will lead them to where these people are. It is not a matter of suspicion. It's not a matter of whether they are there or not. I am assuring you that they are there in the bushes. In fact, that is the only problem we have now. That if the security men that have been drafted to Kafancha can move into the bushes, root them out, let the people, they don't have offices to go to. Their farmlands are their offices. So if they cannot go to their farms to harvest the remnants of the crops, you know, that have been destroyed by these killers, then you is as well telling them that you can go to die.
What do you think is at the heart or at the root of this latest conflict in South Africa?
Simple criminality. Simple criminality and nothing more. Because if you talk about the issue of the Southern Kaduna people living side by side with Fulani, Hausa, Muslims, over years, I'm over 50 today, and in the past 50 years, I grew up, Goska and Dangoma is just 1 kilometer apart. Dangoma is populated about 98% Hausa, Fulani. In fact, Fulani and Muslims. Goska is 99% Christians. But we have lived peacefully together for the over 50 years that God has allowed me to live on this earth. So what is shocking, what is surprising is where came these killers? Where did they come from? That is the question we have always been asking. And for anybody to find justification for these killings should either be an accomplice or one of the people that want to find or want, you know, to use the killings to achieve a certain goal or aim. That's the simple thing. For anybody to say because there was political crisis in 2011 or any time in the past, and that is the reason for these killings, that person is only finding an excuse to perpetrate an evil on the Nigerian people.
Well, but definitely know, the person that you're referring to. Your union, the Southern Kaduna People's Union, has been very critical of the governor. We recall that in April of 2016, Sunrise Daily had an interview with the governor of Kaduna State,
yes,
when there was an economic summit in Kaduna State.
Yes.
And, one of the things that we brought up was, the general feeling of insecurity. A lot of people, we asked the question whether a lot of people want to come and invest in Kaduna. And a lot of people cited, the security situation. They were not sure. They felt that, Kaduna was combustible. The governor admitted that it would seem that his state was divided in half. Northern Kaduna occupied mostly by Muslims and, southern Kaduna occupied mostly by Christians. That division has been there. But he did talk about how they were trying to build the peace and try to, turn around the situation. That was when he made reference to, the 2011 crisis and, the steps that had been taken. And as at that time, he did say that there was peace. There had been relative peace for over 6 months, as at that time in Kaduna. Only for sometime in October, I think it was in Gudugudu, this crisis was said to have started.
In August.
In August, thereabout, when, the first attacks happened in Gudugudu. What do you think was responsible for that?
I started by saying the entire thing, and the statement credited to the governor, I didn't listen to I have never listened to him, but it is very unfortunate that somebody who has sworn by the Quran and to defend the Constitution, to come out and looking at criminality that is staring him on the face, and he tries to justify, these attackers by saying that the attacks are as a result of what happened in 2011 is most unfortunate.
You say it's a justification, but he was talking about what he thought was the root of the crisis.
To us, till I am talking to you now, we do not know who these killers are. No one person has come up to own up and say, I am the person that is killing. And that is why my union is attributing, knowledge of these killers to him. Because he is the only person that has come up to attach or to attribute the killings to what happened in 2011. And don't forget that in 2011, almost all persons, people of all ethnic groups, people of all faiths, people of all different political parties were affected by this crisis. The Hausas were affected, the indigenous, the tribes were affected, Muslims were affected, Christians were affected, the Fulanis were affected in 2011. So for anybody, and panels were set up, judicial panels of inquiries were set up by both the federal and Kaduna state governments. People who have grievances were given opportunities to come and ventilate their grievances, state facts of what they feel was their problem. And so if the governor feels that there is an information at his disposal today, or at the time he made his statement, that show him that certain people are still not aggrieved, in spite of all these committees and administrative panels to ensure that people, that crisis is put behind. If he feels there are some people that were still aggrieved, and he felt that the best way to do was to follow them even outside the shores of this country. Now, these people did not heed to his plea. And they started attacks since August. And I can assure you, from August 2016 till date, these attacks have continued unabated. So
even as we speak?
I have just told you that about 48 hours ago, Mr. Marcus Tuta from Ambam. Ambam is less than a kilometer away from Goska that was attacked on the eve of Christmas. His corpse is lying down now. He was shot and killed on his farm just 48 hours ago.
This is in spite of security pressures.
That is the point. And this is why we say what Mr. President is saying, his statement would be applauded by my people if he directs the military commanders to go into the bushes like they did in Sambisa, root these criminals out. Then that's the only assurance we have that we have a government that is responsive to our needs.
Because before now, we had also seen a situation where your union had criticized the government of the day for not setting up a task force as they did to combat cattle rustling, as
Yes,
it were.
yes.
They had only recently, though, they had finally set up that task force, and the military had been patrolling the area with some aerial surveillance being provided. But it doesn't seem that is sufficient.
It doesn't, because the reason is that they patrol the townships and leave the bushes porous. Don't forget, these people are not operating in the townships. They live in the bushes, come into the villages, attack and run back. This is how they operate. Today, as I'm talking, my people cannot go to their farms.